At second base bats 8th, and Doug Marabelli does the catching. He bats 9th.
Orioles have had a tough time defensively. They're 13th in the league, 100 errors on the season. Cal Ripken will be at third base. Brian Roberts, the shortstop. Jerry Hairston at second, and David Segui at first. Left to right, Jeff Conine, Melvin Mora, and Chris Richard. Brooke Fordyce behind the plate, and on the mound, right-handed Josh Towers. His last start was against the Red Sox, and he stopped a 7-game winless streak had going into that ball game against Boston. 6 2/3, 5 hits allowed, only a couple of earned runs, didn't walk anybody, and had 2 strikeouts. As a matter of fact, in his last 16 1/3 innings, he has not walked anybody. Take a look at tonight's game notes, brought to you by Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. Orioles over 1,000 hits, next to last in the American League. The Red Sox, the fewest hits, second fewest hits allowed in the league. And maybe we can get back to that last one. Wakefield with a .230 batting average against, the 5th lowest in the American League, and adding to that, Wakefield's also 7th in the league in ERA with a 3.32.
Not only did you get the graphic back, but you got the music back somehow too.
Little interruption there. Things are moving fast.
Everything's going fast tonight. Nixon at .281, 19 homers and 60 runs driven in. In right field, leading off again tonight, as Joe Kerrigan said he would, and the lineup set here pretty much for night 2. And Omar, as we mentioned, not in the lineup tonight. His own decision. Joe Kerrigan in night number 2. He really couldn't have asked for a better scenario last night with the way things went for him all the way through the ball game. Opposite field in the air. Jeff Conine moving over, and he takes care of the fly ball off the bat of Trot Nixon for out number 1.
I would imagine that Joe Kerrigan would be a little bit more relaxed in his second game tonight. Yesterday, obviously a hectic day, finding out that he was going to manage the team about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The press conference about 3 o'clock. Getting back in his office, trying to make out a lineup, talk to as many players as possible. I would say a stressful day.
We talked with him today, really the first session he had with the media in his brand new office. And it was interesting today. A lot of media here today, more than your average sit down that we have at 4 o'clock every day. And really the first thing he said he thought of today was a lineup when he first woke up, thinking offensively minded for the first time.
Yeah, he wakes up every morning worrying about those pitches, you know, and now it's the whole group.
Jose Offerman taking strike 1 at .251, 6 homers and 38 runs driven in. You get the feeling from Joe that it'll be he will approach the offensive side of the game much like he did his pitching side. That's with a lot of numbers, a lot of matchups, and I don't think he's going to change his philosophy, even though he's now worrying about a much different area.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, you know, when you see pinch hitters late in the game, it's probably going to be somebody who maybe has had some success against that particular pitcher. I think when he calls guys out of the bullpen, it'll probably be because their numbers are better against a certain guy.
Roberts with a bid from shortstop had to go off the glove, and Offerman's able to beat it out.
Base hit for Jose Offerman. He is now hit in 5 straight games. Last night, Jose down toward the bottom of the lineup, and he, of course, had that home run. Tonight moved up to the 2nd spot with Garcia Parra getting the night off. Do or die play for Brian Roberts. Base hit for Jose Offerman.
1 on, 1 out. Carl Everett coming up. Everett being talked to by Ed Rapuano right out of the gate. Carl did something that he always does, and that's draw a line when he gets there. As the right fielder Richard went over to pick up an errant beach ball that came on the field, so perhaps that's what Rapuano was doing. Is Carl had drawn the line and now will step close to the plate. He's very close again, as always. Towers from the stretch the first time tonight with a runner at first. One of the other things that came out of today that I was kind of surprised by, or one of the more important things that came out, was Joe Kerrigan mentioning the fact that he's really not decided on Urbina or Derek Lowe as of yet, and he'll really let the situation dictate as to who he uses. I thought yesterday, by some, came to the conclusion that he would automatically go to Urbina, and today he really went back on that, saying that no one has got the job yet. As Offerman takes off and will steal second base.
Well, that's one of the other things that he talked about today. People that he feels has base stealing ability will get more of a chance to run. Offerman certainly picked a good pitch. Fordyce had to almost jump for that fastball. So Jose picks up his third steal of the year.
2-0 the count to Everett. Swinging strike, 2-1. Josh Towers 7-7 coming in, a 3.81 earned run average. 19th appearance overall, 15th start for the young right-hander. Was up top that time, and Everett evens the count now at 2-2.
Not exactly, I think, where a catcher Brooke Fordyce would like that. That was a changeup, it looked like, from Towers, and that changeup is about letter high, and that's certainly not the area you wanted it.
Towers is 24 years of age, 6'1", 165-pound right-hander from California. Was a 15th round pick of the Orioles in 1996. And this is his first year of big league experience. Last year played at AAA Rochester, where he was 8-6. He is a guy that does not walk many people. You go back over the course of his career, and he just does not walk many people. He throws a lot of strikes, just 21 walks last year and 148 innings pitched. This year he's not issued a walk in his last 16 1/3 innings as he strikes out Carl Everett. First strikeout of the night for Josh Towers.
Well, after a couple of high changeups, he comes right back with the fastball up and in on Everett to pick up the strikeout. Right underneath the hands of Everett to pick up his first strikeout of the night. We mentioned in his last outing against the Red Sox, really only had a couple of strikeouts in that ball game. I think the Red Sox, when they faced Towers the first time, were still a little bit hungover from the 3-game series out in Oakland, where those pitchers did such a great job.
Josh Towers, the American League Rookie of the Month, winning 6 of his first 7 major league decisions in the month of June. Was 5-1 that month, but has had things go a little bit south since then, as he's now evened his record at 7-7. Bluffing off the backside, he caused Offerman to retrace his steps to second. Orioles were posed with the same situation on the top of the first and could not score. A runner at second with 2 down. And again, cheating in from second, this time Jerry Hairston, but no throw. Manny here last night in the finale of the 3-game series with the Mariners was 0 for 2, but with a couple of walks, and has gone just 1 for 10 so far in the homestand.
Manny did have a home run against Towers in Baltimore. Gave up a couple in that game. One to Nixon, one to Ramirez.
In the air to center. Melvin Mora backs up at the last second. Didn't get a real good look at it at first, but he's able to duck back and bring it in. Red Sox lead from Woonsocket, Rhode Island, and they love Nesson. Dante Bichette, Hillenbrand, and Mike Lansing as Dante goes after the first one. That sign said Newport. Wow.
Beautiful Newport.
Terrific place.
Did Sailor Boy take his boat down to Newport?
Sailor Boy was yesterday off Newport.
Really?
He caught a lot of fish. Our fine director, Mike Narachi, otherwise known as Sailor Boy. He was sailing yesterday, as a matter of fact. Dante fouls it back. I have been out sailing with him before, and I caught 2 fish when I went out with him. Yesterday, he claims he caught between 25 and 30 fish. Every time he goes out without anybody that can identify how many fish he caught, he always catches all these fish.
See, that guy's got a problem. He really wants that souvenir bad. Can't get his head through, though.
Throwing away to Bichette, and the count is 1-2.
You know, I hope he doesn't get his head through because he may not get it back out.
Once the dome goes through that piping, it's not coming back.
This guy's going to give it a shot now.
So you got a bigger guy, longer arms, but still. Nope. Evens up 2-2 to Dante. Was down 0-2.
How about if he soaps up his head? Wouldn't that help him slide through?
Well, he got a long time to try to get it. Very early in the ball game here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. He could come up with some sort of device to pull that in. 2-2 on the way to Dante. A little pop up off first for David Segui. Straddling the line, goes into foul ground and takes care of it. 1 down. Segui made a couple of errors in a ball game in Baltimore last week. One of the best defensive first basemen in the game, and was charged with a couple against the Red Sox. Makes the play there, and there's 1 down.
That was a strange ball game. Final game of that series. Strange weekend in Baltimore. We had rain just about every day. Warm, humid weather. Red Sox got rained out. They'll have to make up a day-night doubleheader in September in Baltimore.
Trey Hillenbrand, the third baseman tonight, hits it crisply on the ground at Brian Roberts. Plenty of time. High throw. Glances off the glove of Segui and dances it ways into the Boston dugout. They will give Hillenbrand second base.
Looked like the ball deflected off the glove of Segui. It's certainly a high throw by Roberts. Roberts has 13 errors on the season. That ball just takes off on him. Segui jumps, but it deflects right off the glove. And Hillenbrand not only makes first, but they'll put him at second base on the overthrow. That error goes on the shortstop, Brian Roberts.
So the 2-base error for Roberts, who last year was in Single A. A quick rise to the major leagues this year. Part of the reason Mike Bordick on the DL. And he's at shortstop tonight for the Orioles. 1 out, runner in scoring position for Mike Lansing. Mike getting the start at shortstop. Nomar is okay. Just one of those days off that he requested as part of his return. Lansing takes strike 1 over the inside corner. Mike with 7 homers, 6 of which have come in the second half post All-Star break. 24 runs batted in and totaling the .254 batting average.
326 average, and as you mentioned, on those 6 home runs since the break.
Off towards third goes Hillenbrand. This is in the air to right field. Hillenbrand standing at third is going to duck his way back to second as Richard takes care of the flyout. Shea was off and running, but Lansing flies out, 2 down.
Well, I think you see here early a different approach obviously taken by Joe Kerrigan. Kerrigan mentioned the fact that he wants to be more aggressive with the base running, and we've already seen Offerman steal a base in this ball game, and Hillenbrand taking off at third base with the 1 out. Fortunately, heading right toward Gene Lamont, so Lamont could point out to Hillenbrand that ball was hitting the air, get back to second.
He calls it intelligent base running, though. He doesn't want to run into any outs. 2 down. Chris Steins will stand in on the right side with the open stance. And he takes the strike. Josh Towers working off the first base side of the rubber. The right-hander. On the ground towards Roberts. He's committed an error in the inning. The throw this time is right on the mark, and Steins is gone. Red Sox leave a man. We're through 2 at Fenway.
Safe at second base and not take any chance. He goes across to first base just in case and gets the out there. So they got 4 outs. Next inning, the Orioles only get 2.
How about that? A very close play at second base. And Mark Barron made the out call, but Stein's making sure. Doug Mirabelli batting for the first time tonight, batting in the number 9 spot. 4 homers, 11 runs batted in, and a .218 batting average. Mirabelli threw out 2 base runners last night and got a little assistance really with the David Cone applying a bit of a sidestep here last night to at least give the catcher somewhat of a chance. Mirabelli hits it a ton to left. Conine will watch this one go up and well out of the ballpark. Home run for Doug Mirabelli, the 5th of the year, and the Red Sox are on the board.
Seven of the last 11 hits now for Mirabelli have been extra base hits. That's a curveball that he'll take way out of Fenway Park.
The right fielder, Trot Nixon.
That's a parking lot shot by Mirabelli.
3rd home run in a Red Sox uniform for Doug Mirabelli, as Trot Nixon, who flied to left his first time, takes ball 1.
Tauer's a guy that we talked about that has very good control, doesn't walk many. Well, a lot of times those guys give up some home runs, and that is the 16th allowed by Tauer's on the season.
Trot Nixon, who's been stuck on 19, has made some pretty good bids for number 20. A couple of shots out toward the triangle area, including a triple here the other night. Was robbed of a home run by Mike Cameron the other night, and has had trouble getting to that number 20. He's got plenty of time to get there and beyond, but has been stuck on 19 with some pretty good bids. Last home run was last Saturday against the Orioles. And he sends this foul off the left side. That also is against Josh Towers, who started last Saturday for Baltimore. Orioles on a 6-game road trip right now, here to Fenway, then on to Tampa Bay. Off the outside edge. 2-2 now to Trot. Towers has not issued a walk now in 18 in a 3rd innings. Wilson twisting his way down to the ground on the swing. 2-2.
And Towers had a terrific start to the season. Started out in the bullpen and had a 4-game winning streak. Took a loss, got another win, but then went 7 appearances without a win until his last time out against Boston.
That is a tough stretch, and as a result has evened his record at 7-7. Nixon goes the opposite way. Well, Conine will look up, and it's going to grab some wall as well as the ladder. Interesting ricochet, but nevertheless Nixon easily into second with a double.
Now there are 2 places now on that left field wall where you really won't get a true bounce off the wall, and it's if it hit off the ladder or possibly the scoreboard. This one will be hit off the ladder. It'll kick back toward the line, and by the time Conine chases it down, Nixon into second base with the double. 24 doubles now for Trot Nixon on the season.
Number 30, the first baseman, Jose Offerman.
Jose Offerman, who reached on an infield hit his first time and stole second base. 6 homers on the year. Red Sox have 3 hits so far tonight. As Offerman showing bunt, pulls back and takes the ball. Give me an idea of how little Josh Towers walks people. He's not allowed more than 2 walks in any of his starts on the year, and this is the 15th start of the season. So he's a guy who's going to go and throw strikes, good or bad. He's going to be right around the plate. Offerman showing bunt again, and he's ahead 2-0. Offerman ahead 3-0 with Carl Everett waiting on deck for the Red Sox. In there for the strike now to Offerman. Leadoff home run to begin the inning for Doug Mirabelli. His 5th of the year, 3rd in a Red Sox uniform. Mattel is 435 feet. The tail of the tape on the home run for Mirabelli that cleared everything in left. Slice foul off the left side.
Well, we talked a little bit earlier, Don, about Joe Kerrigan maybe running more, and guys that you would expect to run more would be Jose Offerman. Nixon certainly capable of stealing bases. Steins, I think you'll see run a little bit, and we already saw Hillenbrand in this game try to steal third base.
Now the payoff pitch. Offerman hits it on the ground and through. Nixon started back towards second. He's going to get to third. Up with it quickly anyway, and left is Conine. But with it on the ground, Trott's first move was back towards second. But Offerman has a base hit. The Red Sox, on the benefit of a homer, double, and a single, have runners at the corners with a run in.
Trot Nixon has to make sure this ball gets through the left side of the infield. You certainly don't want to be thrown out at third base, so that's why the hesitation. And of course, once the ball is fielded in left field, Trot can only go as far as third base. So it looks like the home run shook up Towers just a bit. 3 straight hits in this inning, including the home run by Mirabelli.
Mark Wiley, the pitching coach, has gone to the mound to talk to. And he pointed quickly to the fact that the Red Sox at 3-0 have only one man all season to have a hit, and that was John Valentin. So you're not going to see a lot of guys going after 3-0 pitches, even if it is Manny Ramirez. As Carl Everett stands in on the left side at 3-0-4 with runners in scoring position. Bluff to third, bluff to first. He does not throw to either venue. Offerman with a good sized lead at first, held on by David Segui. Still nobody out here in the last of the 3rd inning. Everett slices it foul, backing out of play.
You know, getting back to that 3-0 swinging, I mean, there are certain guys that you can't give that to because they get too anxious. You know, they know a fastball's coming, and regardless of where it is, they swing at. I remember the best 3-0 hitter I ever saw with the Red Sox was Dwight Evans. He'd get that green light 3-0, and he had the ability to locate his zone. And man, he got some big time hits 3-0. Some guys get too anxious.
Fire to first, and Offerman back in plenty of time. Mentioned the Red Sox are going to be doing more running, and they will be under the tutelage in that area also of Tommy Harper, the first base coach, as it is cued foul off the bat of Carl Everett.
You know what I found interesting today, and one of Kerrigan's statements, the fact that he said one thing he didn't even think about is relaying signs to the third base coach in that dugout. It is true, you know, little things you don't think about. And he's responsible for sending those signs, running the offense to the third base coach. And he had to get himself in position where Lamont could see him.
Yeah, the other thing was he said he couldn't use below the belt, which was something he had to get used to, because if you are the third base coach looking in, of course, that's about where it cuts off, is about belt level because of the stairs in the dugout. So all signs have to be from a belt above the Gene Lamont. So that was the sequence that he had to get used to last night, and all part of the transition for Joe Kerrigan. Yankees still on top 3-0. They're in the 3rd at Yankee Stadium. As Everett continues to battle, down 0-2. Texas and Toronto tied 2-2 tonight at Sky Dome. Oakland will play in Chicago. That'll be getting underway very, very soon. Towers again with the 0-2. Everett foul tips it, and Fordyce can't hold on.
That looked like a Bernie Cabo swing in Game 6 of the World Series here in '75. Just barely getting a piece of the ball and fouling it off. Well, if it's like Cabo, the next one will go out of the ballpark.
Everett hits it back at third into foul ground for Ripken, who will make the catch for the first out of the inning. That was bending towards where the seats jet out, but Ripken's able to make the catch, and Everett will take that walk back to the dugout, and it'll bring up Manny Ramirez with one down.
That's twice now they've gone inside on Everett with the high fastball to get the out. The first time the strikeout, this time on the inside fastball to pop up to third base.
Ramirez 305 with runners in scoring position on the season. Lined out to center field his first time, ably handled by Melvin Mora, the Orioles center fielder. Really upset with that cut. Slapped at the bat after fouling it back to the backstop. Ramirez won for his last 11. He's hit 5 home runs already in the month of August. But has only one multi-hit game in the last 20 for Ramirez, who fouls it back, and much like Everett, he finds himself in the hole 0-2.
One thing about Tao is he certainly features a lot of fastballs. He did that in that last game in Baltimore, and the same thing tonight. The curveball that he threw to Mirabelli hit it out of the ballpark.
Nixon at third, Offerman at first. They were there with nobody out, still there with one down. And a quick check of Offerman, who skips his way back to the bag at first. The Orioles scoring 3 times in the top half of this inning. Off Tim Wakefield. Orioles left a couple of men on as Wakefield worked his way out of the inning. The Red Sox have gotten a run back here in the inning and threatening for more, as now Fordyce will head to the mound to talk to Josh Towers. Now the Orioles do have some significant injuries on their ball club. Of course, Mike Bordick out with the shoulder, placed on the 15-day DL. For Mike Hargrove, Scott Erickson, their fine pitcher, may be back September the 1st. They lost Pat Henkin, the opening day starter. He's out for the year with an elbow problem. So they have had their problems this season in Mike Hargrove's second year at the helm of the Orioles. The 0-2 to Ramirez is low and away, 1-2. This will be the 25th pitch of the inning for Josh Towers. He's really had to expend a lot of energy here in the bottom of the third. Again bluffing to third. This time he will throw to first on the back end of the bluffing. And it did not fool Offerman, who got back on the bag.
As he was bluffing to third, Offerman was already on his way back to first base.
Offerman bluffed at first as Ramirez carves it foul. And good news today for Brian Daubach. We were told before the ball game that he is out of the hospital. Still dealing with the staph infection, now on antibiotics, trying to work his way back. Still, of course, on the 15-day DL, but at least Brian is finally out of the hospital. He's been there a few days now.
Yeah, that had to be a little bit scary, don't you think?
Oh, no doubt about it. It's solidly back up the middle into center. Nixon will scamper his way home with the second Boston run. The third goes Offerman. Up to second in. Head first goes Ramirez. And the Red Sox have two in scoring position. Manny bangs one in, and they're back within a run.
Right back up the middle for the ground ball base hit, and he gets some heads-up base running here by Manny Ramirez. Offerman's got to challenge Melvin Moore, and nobody in a cutoff position because the shortstop had to dive for the ball. Once Ramirez was aware of that, he just goes into second base with the head first slide.
Number 19, the designated hitter, Dante Bichette.
Now here's the hero of last night's contest, Dante Bichette, with the monster home run here last night. Just under 300 with runners in scoring position is Dante at 299. 4 homers, including a grand slam this year, 36 RBIs. Throw to second base. Is it an appeal? What are they doing here? They're saying safe.
Appealing that Jose Offerman missed second base.
On the way through to third. And Mark Barron says he did not. So Bichette has yet to see a pitch. Patiently awaiting one from Josh Towers. Swinging miss for Dante Bichette. Bichette 2 for 4 with a double and the 3-run home run here last night. 3 for 9 in the series against Seattle. He's hit safely in 15 of his last 20 games as Dante Bichette. Soft flare out from second base is Hairston to make the catch. Certainly not deep enough for Offerman to try it, with the second baseman darting 3 strides onto the outfield grass to bring in the second out of the inning.
It seems like Tao has been most effective when he's been able to get that fastball inside on hitters. Certainly to Everett in this inning, and once again there to Dante Bichette. Fastball inside. Bichette tries to inside out that pitch, but pops it up to second base.
Jay Hillenbrand, who reached on a 2-base error his first time, still near the top in a lot of rookie categories. 3rd in RBIs among rookies, behind Ichiro far and away the best, and Alfonso Soriano of the Yankees.
Well, I would have to guess too that both those guys, we certainly know about Ichiro, but Soriano both played more than Hillenbrand this season.
Yes, yeah, that's right. Well, that is one of the areas that I guess will be maybe platooned around. Is the 1-0's in there for a strike. We heard Joe Kerrigan yesterday say that he'd like to go with more of a set lineup, but I guess in terms of third and second, you may see Ian Steins moving around there. Perhaps I guess there's room for moving around maybe there. And Steins has had a good season in his first year as a member of the Red Sox. Coming over in the offseason from the Reds, part of the Sadler and Coleman deal. Interesting to note that both of those players, after being traded, are on their second organization since being traded. Neither still a member of the Reds. And Chris Steins has been here all year, a couple of stints on the DL, but when he has been healthy, he has been very good for the Red Sox. In the dirt, good play by Fordyce, lunging to his right.
Towers trying to snap off the breaking ball. Fordyce one step to his right to block it.
Jay Hillenbrand, the 7th member of the Red Sox to bat here in the 3rd inning. In the air to right, Chris Richard wandering back and makes the catch to retire the side. But the Red Sox, as this is line fair, kicks off the boxes. Lansing thinking about 2 as the shortstop Roberts is going to go out and get it after that nasty ricochet. And Mike Lansing has started the bottom of the 4th with a leadoff double.
Well, second time around now for the Red Sox facing Josh Towers, and certainly the results a little bit different this time. Lansing gets the breaking ball right down the 3rd base line. It caroms off that seating area down there, and Lansing hustles it into a double. The Red Sox with 2 doubles in the ball game, a home run, and of course 3 singles.
Now Chris Steins, who grounded to shortstop his first time. Josh Towers, 54 pitches deep into his outing as he begins the bottom of the 4th. And this is with the first one to Steins. Chris is hitless in his last 22 at bats, really in his first extended funk of the season. Fouls it off for first strike, 1-1.
Just been informed by Kevin Shea that Carl Everett received a fine for his actions a little bit earlier this week here at Fenway. No suspension involved, and that's pretty much what we expected. The possibility of maybe giving up some of the paycheck, but we've seen that before. Remember Albert Bell on many occasions not really suspended, but did pay some fines, and that's what's come down from the American League and Frank Robinson.
Flare to right field. Richard coming on will make the catch. Lansing bluffs but does not go anywhere as the throw goes to 3rd from Richard, the right fielder. So 1 away, and the Steins line out to right.
Nice attempt by Steins. He's definitely trying to move the runner along. You can tell by the swing, an inside out swing. The problem is the ball just didn't go quite deep enough, and Lansing had to hold at second base. Listen to this ovation for Mirabelli.
Well, he has thrown out 2 base runners tonight to go along with his 5th home run. 3rd as a member of the Red Sox, batting from the number 9 spot, getting his 2nd at bat. And Mirabelli takes strike 1. I think Dan Duquette and the Red Sox really felt like they were getting a very good defensive catcher. And they traded Justin Dukeschur to get Doug Mirabelli on June the 12th. And has really shown that as of late, with, of course, Jason Varitek out and having a recent setback as of late. Coming off what is a very difficult injury to rehab from.
Well, Mirabelli, you know, when we first watched him here with the Red Sox, as soon as he came to Boston, one thing you certainly noticed about him is he has very quick feet as far as getting rid of the baseball. And, you know, we're so accustomed to watching Pudge Rodriguez down there with probably the quickest feet in all of baseball for a catcher. Mirabelli's similar to that. Very quick release.
That's an extremely important area for catchers, and not quick feet.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you watch Pudge Rodriguez. It's amazing how quick his feet are, and that puts him in a great position to make his throws. Plus, he's got a very strong throwing arm. And the more at bats Mirabelli's got, the better he's hit.
This is in, and it's now 3-1. First base is vacant. A double for Lansing to begin the inning. Steins lined out to right. Reese picks up, blows from right to left across the outfield. There's a big flag in left center as a gust. Chop right side and through into right field. Lansing will be sent around. Bobbled in right by Richard. Lansing will easily score. Red Sox back within 1 again. It's now 4-3. Mirabelli with his 2nd ribby of the night.
Well, that's terrific hitting because, you know, a lot of times in that at bat after a guy hits a home run, he's trying to get his second home run of the game, but not Mirabelli. He just goes to the opposite field with it. This was going to be a very close play had Richard been able to feel the ball cleanly because he had a hard charge on it, but it just bounces right out of the glove and no chance then to get Lansing. But I think if he makes that play, it's going to be very close at home plate.
Saw him throw the ball to third base. He does appear to have a pretty good arm out there in right field as well. The bobble costs him. Lansing easily in as a result. Mirabelli at first, still only one out. Tried Nixon, who doubled his last time, takes strike one. Mirabelli with that short lead at first. Segui holding him on. Nixon down 0-2. Nixon appearing in his 108th game of the year of a possible 120. Manny Ramirez leading everybody in that category in terms of games played on the Red Sox. He's only missed 2 all year. This is 118 for Manny of 120. In the air to left center field. Conine moves over and makes the catch to retire Nixon, and Mirabelli back to the bag with 2 down.
Well, Towers certainly comes as advertised. No walks so far in this game. He's around the plate. Red Sox have the advantage of getting the second look at him in a week. They faced him for the first time after the Oakland Athletics put him in a slump.
After the Hudson Mulder Zito show in Oakland, as Offerman takes strike one. They came here after Towers. This ball gets away into center. Mirabelli late to hear about it and really didn't have a chance to move up after that, after not breaking right away. The return throw from Brooke Fordyce ends up in shallow center field.
Now, how often in the course of a season do you see that?
Not very, with men on especially.
Yeah, throw back to the pitcher, doesn't catch it, rolls up the middle. Middle infield is not really looking at it. You know, it's kind of like a routine play. You throw the ball back to the pitcher.
I'm surprised at times it doesn't happen more often.
Really?
Yeah, well, sometimes you got to figure it's going to happen more than it does. Pop up right side. Jerry Hairston coming on, and he'll make the catch with the feet on the dirt to retire the side. Boston gets a run back on Sox Digest from the West Coast Monday through Thursday right here on NESN. That is an incredible likeness to my partner Jerry Remy.
What did that do, huh?
That's a nice lid. And you're very happy.
Hey, we're going out to Anaheim, so you're going to have a lot of family.
That's correct.
Out in that area, right?
Parents are out there. Should be nice. There for 4 nights, as it turns out. Then it's on to Texas. It's going to be a very difficult trip for the Red Sox. 3 different time zones on this road trip. Anaheim, Texas, and Cleveland. Everett puts a charge into this one. Back by the wall, off the wall. Mora plays the ricochet. Carl heading to second, and he is safe. Eluded the tag. Good bid from the center fielder Melvin Mora, but Everett's into second with a leadoff double.
Well, Melvin Mora did a very nice job for a visiting center fielder playing this ball off the wall. And I think Everett slowed down a little bit between first and second, expecting to have an easy double. But the fine play by Mora made it close. Throw just a little bit off target, and Everett in safely at second base with the leadoff double. So here we go again.
Manny Ramirez will be getting himself settled in here on the right side. He's got a hit tonight, a run driven in. Also is lined out to center field. And he carves the first one foul. He has been aggressive in dealing with Josh Towers tonight after that first pitch.
Is all your family going to be in the booth in Anaheim?
I don't think so.
There's plenty of room, you know, in that booth.
Is it a big booth?
It's a big booth. So if you got a big family, they're all welcome.
No, most of my family is actually here in Stoneham and Melrose, but the immediate parents are out in Anaheim.
Well, bring them to the booth, though. They can watch you work.
Could be a scary thing. As Ramirez fouls it back to the backstop. Six runs, 10 hits, an error for Baltimore. 3 runs, 8 hits, an error for the Red Sox. Ramirez is driven in a run tonight. One of Boston's 8 hits in the ball game. This is up and away. The Yankees on top 4-0 on top of the Mariners apparently in the 5th inning according to the scoreboard in left. Bob Rogers gave us the bad news about Oakland also tonight. But you get the feeling this ball game is far from over. The way the Red Sox have put up the runs and continue to hit Josh Towers here to the bottom of the 5th. Everett hits this on a line to left center. Mora is there, defensively aligned perfectly as it turns out, and there's one down.
Well, Manny hitting that ball right on the button, but right at Melvin Mora in center field. I don't believe we've seen a changeup tonight, have we, from Towers? Oh, basically a fastball, curveball. Starting to sprinkle lightly right now, too, here at Fenway.
Dante Bichette is 0 for 2 tonight. He's fouled out, popped out, and it misses away, ball 1. I'll tell you, under 300 at 296, was up over 300 for most of the season, but dropping down again only recently. Everett starts for third. The pitch is high. The throw is off the glove of Ripken. Everett's going to jump up and try to score. Roberts comes to the plate, but that is tardy as well. Curls in. Aggressive base running has the Red Sox back within 2. It's now 6-4.
Some of the aggressiveness on the Red Sox as far as the steals go is catching the Baltimore Orioles by surprise. Everett with the head first slide. The throw gets by Ripken, and Everett comes on to score the 4th run for the Red Sox.
Charge the error to Brooke Fordyce that allowed Everett to score as Bichette pops it up into shallow right. Richard was playing a deep right, but he's able to settle underneath it for the inning. 2nd out, 2 down. And it'll bring up Shea Hillenbrand. And they're checking on Carl down there. Jim Rowe, the trainer. I don't know if he's re-hampered that knee at all.
Number 29, the third baseman.
Seen 2 runners tonight take off the third base. Shea Hillenbrand earlier. Ball was fouled off, and now Everett with the steal and scoring on the error by Brooke Fordyce. So even down by the 3 runs, Red Sox being aggressive on the bases.
It is beginning to rain much harder now at Fenway Park as Hillenbrand takes ball 1.
Now, this is not good.
No. I don't know what the forecast is, but
rain. It's for rain.
Is that right?
Yeah,
yeah, rain.
100% chance
at this point. Off the glove of Fordyce. He won't fret no one on. 2-0. That's coming down pretty good right now. And now Fordyce will go to the mound, and Wiley, the pitching coach.
Now, there's a little bit of a surprise. You got the rain falling right now. They do have the lead.
Run. Everett began the inning by doubling. He stole third, and then on a throwing error was able to score. 2-0 to Hillenbrand, misses, and it's 3-0.
Hillenbrand in great position to pick up his 8th walk of the season.
We'll see. And he takes the strike, 3-1. O'Shea 7 walks. What, 2 at bats tonight, so 334 major league at bats, and is not going to walk this time. Shortstop Brian Roberts calling, looking up into the raindrops, and he takes care of it. And the Red Sox are gone to the 5th. They pick up a run. Done with 5 from now. Rainy fence. Well, the umpires got. I was just going to say the umpires got together there in between innings and talked to David Meller, the fine groundskeeper for the Red Sox here, with the tutelage of Joe Mooney, of course. But talk with David, and they have decided to play on here. The rain has let up a little bit since their conversation in between innings.
From what we understand, it's supposed to get heavy a little bit later on, so maybe best playing through this now.
Stroke well to left. That's going to get up on the wall. Lansing on his way for 2. Going to be a close play, and Mike is going to be out. Now Lansing with a double to begin things in the 4th, trying to repeat the act here in the 6th, but he is gunned down.
Melvin Mora looks like Ken Griffey Jr. tonight out in center field. He's made some terrific plays. Did I get that right? Is that that was Mora that played it off the wall, right?
I think it was.
Take one more look. The line shot by Lansing again, hitting the ball hard.
The second baseman, Chris.
Yeah. Melvin Mora with the bare hand off the wall and throws a strike to second base. I mean, he's played some outstanding center field tonight.
So Lansing gets credit for a hit. He is second of the night, but thrown out at second base as Steins takes ball 1. Chris does not have a hit. He is 0 for 2 and 0 for his last 23. And there for a strike, and it's 1-1. 4-0 New York on top of Seattle is there in the 6th inning at Yankee Stadium. Anaheim beating up on Cleveland right now, 7-0. This is sharply dropped into right center field for a base hit, and that breaks up a string of 0 for 23 for Chris Steins.
Sometimes when you've gone that long without a hit, you feel like asking for the baseball when you get to first base.
Number 28, the catcher, Doug Mirabelli.
Flashes of lightning going on here, but
I don't know how much longer we are for this one without a delay.
It is lightened up, but you get the feeling that it is not gone. And the crackling of thunder. Probably not a terrific idea to have an electrical headset on in a lightning storm. As Mirabelli takes the pitch down low.
You want to move to the stick, Mike?
No, but it may be safer. I was in the minor leagues at one point. They wanted me in Double-A in Binghamton, New York, to do a promotional thing where I got into a hot tub and did the game. 1-0 is hit on the ground under the glove of Ripken down the line. Conine will dig it out of the corner. Heading for third is Steins, and Boston with runners at the corners and 1 down.
Mirabelli will pick up his 3rd hit of the night, and you can see with the rain falling and the infield getting damp how quickly that ball shot by Ripken down at third base. Right off the grass. That grass now wet, and Ripken really no chance at making that play at all. And that's going to be the night, it looks like, for Towers, as Mike Hargrove out to the mound.
Well, for Towers, who doesn't walk many people, the good news is he didn't walk anybody tonight, but has given up 11 hits so far in this one in 5 1/3 innings, and he will depart with the lead in this ball game, but still responsible for the 2 men on. And the Orioles will turn things over here to the bullpen in the bottom of the 6th inning. The rain still falling lightly at Fenway Park as Towers heads off.